Grahame Morris.
Thank you, and thank you very much, Sir Christopher, for calling me to speak in this debate. And I would also like to thank the Honourable Member for Paisley and Renfrewshire North, also my colleague on the Transport Select Committee, for securing this important debate. And I think it would be remiss of me, Sir Christopher, not to remark on the fact that this is a well-attended debate. Representatives of all political parties, apart from the government party. I mean, apart from the Minister, who must be here. And I don't know whether that's a reflection of the importance that the governing party give to employment rights, but I think it's a sad indictment. Just as I begin, Sir Christopher, I think it's only right that I declare an interest. I've been a member of a trade union and the Labour Party all of my adult life, and I've got the honour to be chair of the Unite Parliamentary Group. But I do want to say, I want to highlight some cases of really dreadful practices, but I want to pay tribute to the thousands of employers who've gone out of their way to protect and reassure their employees at a time when they themselves are often facing unparalleled pressures, stress and uncertainty. It is, however, regrettable that some rogue employers have sought to use the Covid-19 crisis as an opportunity to force workers to sign up to wage cuts and inferior conditions under the threat of dismissal. Whilst the practice of fire and rehire is not currently unlawful in and as itself, the way in which it seeks to capitalise on people's vulnerability, particularly at this time during the pandemic, is, in my opinion, in the opinion of most reasonable people, morally despicable and indefensible and cannot go unchallenged. It's noteworthy that these actions are outlawed in most other European countries, and it's my belief, shared by many others, that it should be here too. And I want to return to the Minister's remarks in the last debate that we had, that was referred to by the sponsor of the motion at the end of my speech. But I'd like to note and pay tribute to the excellent work of my own union, Unite the Union, in successfully arguing and mitigating many cases of employers attempting to utilise this terrible practice of fire and rehire. However, it hasn't always been possible to reach agreement, and that's been the case. That was the situation in the case of the British Airways cargo workers based at Heathrow Airport, where more than 850 Unite members have balloted and is set to strike in December over pay cuts of between 20 and 25% and threats to outsource the workforce. At the same time, Unite the Union has announced December strike action at Heathrow Airport in protest at a loss of employment rights and wage cuts which involve not just baggage handlers, but firefighters, engineers, campus security, baggage operations, operational and airside workers, and unless the employer acts in a reasonable fashion, it will effectively close our major airport over the Christmas period. Fire and rehire isn't restricted to the aviation sector, although there are some terrible abuses within that sector. Part of the multi-million-pound Compass Group has been branded Britain's most heartless employer by Unite due to the manner in which it's treating staff working on Ministry of Defence bases. These are being forced to sign contracts, making them hundreds of pounds a month worse off, with the threat of immediately losing their jobs. In our criminal justice system, we see workers deprived of one of the most basic employment rights, the right to a safe workplace. Court staff are made to attend workplaces that the PCS union insists are not simply COVID secure. And the alarming number of outbreaks in the court suggests that the union is correct. Maybe this is a direct consequence of there being no assessment process agreed with the trades unions, or the court service refusal to publish individual site assessments and only making them available on request. And in prisons, Sir Christopher, I'm told that some governors have tweaked their exceptional delivery models to permit classroom-based education despite national guidance that says this must not happen while COVID threat levels remain high. The UCU union is seeking urgent clarification about this, as is its members. They are made to continue with face-to-face teaching and attendance in person in our prisons, despite the new restrictions. Whether in courts or in prisons, a business-as-usual attitude from managers is putting loyal staff at unnecessary risk, and that is quite simply unacceptable. In conclusion, Sir Christopher, a business, government, indeed every organisation, even society itself, will be judged on how we get through this extremely difficult period. And just a week ago, the Minister stood in the chamber and said the very threat of fire and rehire is totally unacceptable. So I'd like to ask, will he commit today to outlawing this totally unacceptable practice once and for all? Thank you.